All right, what's up, y'all? It's your phone, Gara. I got a message for y'all today. Sound message 3, lucky number 3. Let's get it. This message is about your spirit power. All right. So basically, the kind of uh, well, I'm speaking it. I was gonna say the unspoken, but you can still say the unspoken theme of this is more about the type of vibe we get into right here. Is like how Jesus had power, right? Which we're not really talking about Jesus, but just hear me out. Just hear me out. Which is nothing wrong with talking about Jesus. But look, or just listen, just listen. In the Bible, Jesus says, "Greater works will you do." And I think that with this channel and with all my works, that's one thing that I really want to put into what I'm doing. That's what I want to put into this stuff. Greater works will you do. I don't want to just, hear people talking about this no more. And that's be it. I think that we should actually try to do these things because and this doesn't mean you have to drop everything and walk the streets and preaching the word of God, which you can if you want, but you also need to think practically about how you're going to feed yourself and all that. And if God leads you to do that, then why wouldn't you do it? But um it's about it's kind of about making a life you already have. Well, taking a life you already have and investing your spirit power into it, or allowing your spirit power to lead you to the life you're supposed to have or the life you want, and allowing your spirit power to permeate all of these new adventures you will enter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wrote down two little points, and I just want you to hear them. So basically, I'm gonna kind of just brush up or whatever. Your spirit is your raw power. This is point one. Your spirit is your raw power. It is up to you on how you use this power. Point two. Your spirit power, when allowed without resistance, your spirit power, when allowed without resistance, will lead you to the fields, or fields, which I'm talking about like work field or work fields. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of environments in which you can make the most of it. So when you take your spirit power and you allow it to move through you, when they say let God use you, I'm saying, not only let the creator, move his power through you, but take your spirit and open it up or allow it to be opened up within you. Like the you, your spirit, the pure you. Allow it to move through you. Don't resist it. And it will lead you to the fields in which you can make the most of it. Learn to master this power, your spirit power. Learn to master it. And we're going to talk about that. So the first point, it is up to you on how you use this power, your raw spirit, your spirit power. Your spirit is your raw spirit power. You feel me? So, and God too, everything else we could talk about, like the universe and your earth inheritance. The meek will inherit the earth. That's in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you got to be like a weakling to inherit the earth, but I'm saying like somebody that understands to heed instruction, like to be wise, you know what I'm saying? To know how to I think it's more about in your position in relation to God. I think that's kind of what that verse is about. To be humbly receptive to God when it says the meek. The humbly receptive in relation to God will inherit the earth. I think that's the way you could put that verse and it'll be good. So yeah, what was we talking about? Oh yeah, so yeah, I was talking about the different the powers, like your spirit power and the universe, God, the earth, you know, maybe even the sun, the moon. But I'm saying like God, God, He created all that. He the source. And I feel like sometimes I feel like if you put something that the source created over the source itself, you can become misled in a sense. Not that the thing that you put over you will mislead you, but it's you misleading yourself because you're trying to get something from a creation that was never meant to give you that. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta take that. I might talk about that later on or in this message, but right now I'm trying to get to the point because I feel like you can understand where I'm coming from with it. So yeah, you can use this spirit power to do whatever you want to do in this life. Um, I might be focused. I plan on kind of focusing more on the your works in this life. Like if you want to be a musician, if you want to be any type of business owner, which if you want to be a professional musician, in a sense you are, well, you really, you're entering the music business, you know what I'm saying? You have to manage all that business, you know what I'm saying? You will have help, you could have help, it'd be wise to get some sort of help at some point if if it gets to that point, which hopefully it will, because that means that you bringing in enough attention in. Anyways, yeah. If you want to be a teacher, if you want to be, I don't know, uh, I don't know, whatever you want to be, take the spirit power with you, and like we said, allow it to move through you without resistance, and it will lead you and guide you in what you're doing. But with this spirit power, whatever you do, just know that this power is comes from your spirit identity. It is naturally, uniquely made for you, and it is made to do. It is made to do what the identity embodies. So who you are as a spirit, your spirit power is made to express that. But you can use the signature of that expression to do whatever you want to do with it. And you can really change it. You can really say, forget that identity. I'm going to use the spirit power to do whatever I want to do. But it's not going to work at its best. But you can do that. But yeah. But, on here we're speaking positivity on this channel. So we speaking positivity. We speaking positivity. We speaking decency. We speaking righteousness. We speaking beauty. We speaking order. We speaking love. Living in love. Living as love. God is love. You are made in the image of God. You are an extension of God. You come directly from the source of God. Therefore, you are love as well. You know what I'm saying? All right. So the main point I want to talk about most of this message is point 2, when I said this power will when allowed without resistance, will lead you to the fields in which you can make the most of it. Learn to master the spirit power. All right, so All right. The main definition that I would give you for power in this message right here is the ability to do anything. Like if I take my hand and wave it, I use my power, my spirit power to do that. The power of my spirit. So, and seeing is that simple. You use your spirit power every day. How can you harness this power? How can you harness this power to create the life that you want or to create the life that you know you're supposed to have, the visions that you see? How can you harness that power, which those visions aren't expressions of that power, which that is a second, that's second nature expression of that power. You don't have to think about those visions you have. You can practice envisioning, manual envisioning. Well, sometimes I know that you receive some sort of sight on the things, like your spirit is calling you, or something is calling your spirit to do a certain thing, to use its power, because we're talking about, as the definition of power in this message right here, is the ability to do. All right. Your spirit power when allowed without resistance. All right. So when you take this power and you allow it to move you, you will find yourself. You might leave some things behind. You might. It'll seem like at this point in the world, where the world is right now, I think enough people have seen people just leave everything behind, or leave things behind, or just take out a, go out on a, go out on a, just like almost like an adventurous type of thing, or just felt like doing it themselves, that they will understand that you taking your path at this point. If you allow your spirit power to take you so far as to leaving everything behind and chasing your dream. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's in the air right now. People are tired of this like almost energy farm type, type lifestyle that the world is being built into, which is been like that for a while, but it's kind of being like emphasized and put all in our faces right now. It's almost like we being like mocked over, like mocked and overload. You know what I'm saying? But like, um, yeah. So like, when I say it will lead you into the fields that you are, I want to emphasize on that. It will lead you into the fields in which you can make the most of it. For example, me, I've been listening. I've been, uh, allowing my spirit to lead me, allowing my spirit power to be expressed through itself, through my spirit. You know what I'm saying? Through my body, through my vessel. Um, I was thinking about doing these messages, like just recording my phone, because I have other messages on my channel where I call them soundstage messages. These are the sound messages where I would break out my computer on my mic and record something, in my music software, and then mix it or whatever, and post it to YouTube or whatever. But this is just a simple thing, and I wanted to give a new experience with these messages. But I didn't know exactly how I wanted to talk. I didn't, like, when I say that, I mean like I didn't know like where I wanted to take people on an experience with this, because I had a lot of things I wanted to say. I didn't know what to say first, or how to start it off, or nothing. And I prayed about it. I almost like walked myself through it, but the messages wasn't coming. Like stuff was coming, but I was like, this ain't the right stuff. I just knew it wasn't the right stuff. It wasn't coming the right way. And I know that Like, I know when it's time to move, because like sometimes it takes a long time for me to get there, but I still just not like I know when it's time. Like, I've been kind of waiting to even record this message since I recorded the last message. It's been about 3 days, I think, and it just one time yet. I've been stirring this up in my spirit, kind of getting ready, and I was like, it's not time. Even a few hours ago, I was like, it's not time. And then I was just listening to a message from another creator, and I was like, let me get locked in. Like, I think I can feel it coming more. I was stirring it up, stirring it up, and I was like, I think I'm ready now. I think I'm ready now. And I'm saying, and I brought up my spirit leading me into making these videos, and how I was having trouble getting it right, and how I wanted to put it, say, speak, express myself, is because your spirit will lead you to what you need to be doing. Because I feel like there are things that I believe in fate. I believe we decide our own fate, but I also believe it's already decided for us by us and by other things. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you got to go beyond that to really understand fate. You got to go beyond who chose it. You got to go beyond what's already written. You got to go beyond that to really start understanding it. And I don't know if I've thought kind of a little bit beyond it, but I never just really expressed that. But anyways, what I'm saying is my spirit led me to do this because I trusted in my power. And this, after I dropped those first two messages, I was like, no, like, I love music so much, but I realized, like, before I dropped those messages, that I was like, I talked about being a spirit artist, and I realized, like, if I could turn that into something more tangible, I know I would. I know I would enjoy that much. I know I would enjoy that more than I enjoyed music, because I put that at the highest thing on my value list. I made a value list, and in the works I would like to do in the world, in the earth. And I know if I could turn that into something tangible, kind of like this, or and go even more, going even farther with it. And I knew that. So after I made the first two sound messages, I was like, I enjoyed doing that more than not enjoy. I didn't enjoy it really more than making the music, but like all the people telling me they liked the song and stuff, I appreciated that. But I don't think that you know having millions of streams and all that and getting all this money would make me as happy as doing this. I think what I like about the music is being a music artist, not for the fame or the money, but to be the embodiment of the songs I create, of the musical world I create, to share that with the people who love my music. So I realized that it's about who I am, and what and how I can share that with others. Those are the things I really love the most in life, and that's what I'm doing right here. And in my music life, I haven't been doing that as much. I just been putting out music, but I haven't been sharing myself enough. And when you trust in your spirit power, you will find, you will find that awareness to use to figure things out like that in your mind. And you will be able to apply that to your life like I'm doing right now. And you can even share it with others because it can help them like I'm doing right now. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So I'm gonna go a little bit on how you can master this power and how you can I'm gonna give you maybe at least one more example on allowing this power to work through you without resistance. Your spirit power, as in like your powers. You have powers. If you have a spirit, if you are a spirit, you have powers. Okay. Everybody has a power unique to their spirit identity. Everyone has powers unique to their spirit identity. This is true. I'm not saying that you Goku, but I am saying that you. No, this is about the process of coming into this is all about ascension. You already use your powers. When you pick up on energetic shifts, it's the thing is about when you picking up on things around you and in you, and you're doing things that might seem psychic or intuitive. Like, what do you do after that when you take it in? Do you use that reception? Do you use that reception? Do you put anything back out into the world in that same way that you received it through that same channel within you? That's the powers right there when you put it back out. Like, say you receive the awareness, like through your spiritual eye, you're aware of an energetic shift. You can create an energetic shift. That's power. You know what I'm saying? The ability to do. And over time, you'll realize you are using a power to do that. And that power is your spirit. Spiritual power is your spirit power. You already have that. So you got to let it flow though, because it's going to become like almost like a formula or something, or a balance within you. It's going to grow. It's going to grow into however your spirit expresses power. It's going to grow into a form, and you got to let that form flow and run through your body. You can't just let it. You gotta keep it active and use it. With great power comes great responsibility. You feel me? So use it for good. Now you don't have to, but you should. Yeah, I like my rhyming. I do be rhyming. I'll be rapping and shit. You feel me? So, nah, I'm playing. But look, because I do make music. If you haven't heard my music, you can look me up on Spotify under the name that you see right here, Yo Fangara. Not the soundstage part, just the Yo Fangara part. But yeah, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, SoundCloud. Just letting you know. I wouldn't recommend looking at the music on this channel because I haven't put my new music up here. It's been almost a year since I uploaded music on here. But if you look up Yo Fangara and you look at the part if you search on YouTube Yo Fangara and you see where it says Yo Fangara topic, I think it'll be two different ones. Just click on whichever one has the most music. You gotta probably click on both, and you'll see whichever one has the most music, like 60-some songs. That's why my new music is, whatever. I'm going to put the new music up on here eventually, some of it, not all of it. But anyways, that power. Learn to master that power, your powers. Learn to master them. This comes with repetition. Like, you can start with energy shifts. Shift the energy in your life. Your life is a collective energy of all the energies in your life, or a collective spiritual form. Yeah, a form of spirit, which is you in all the contents of your life, the properties of your life. Learn to master this. Yeah, so you can start it with shifting your life. Look at your life as, you could say, I guess a cloud, like a cloud of life. Shift this cloud, shift things in this cloud, within this cloud, shift different parts of it. That your power can manifest as your life in that sense. You see what I'm saying? That cloud, your power can manifest as that, and something anything else. It depends on your spiritual identity, and it depends on how you work with the power in a way that is natural to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can control the way this power expresses itself. And as long as you stand within the identity, it's gonna work like water. Boy, it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because I do this stuff myself. That's what I'm talking to you about. I wouldn't just talk to you about the possibilities and not have, went through the possibilities myself. You know what I'm saying? Or at least uh touched it in some tangible way. You know what I'm saying? Even if I haven't just completely gone all the way through it, which I have with this, but I would be pretty familiar with it if I'm talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just mentally, because sometimes you can experience things mentally in a way to where you can really understand it, even if you ain't really just been there all the way all the time. You can pretty much you have understanding from it because you just know life like that. Life is abundant and beautiful like that. Now I ain't gonna say that's for everything, but a lot of things, yeah. And maybe it could be with everything in a sense, but I don't know. But yeah, just I just told you how you can master it. So I think that's why I'm gonna end this message. I don't want to make it too long. So yeah, y'all stay safe. Love y'all. Stay powerful. Stay blessed. Stay aware. Peace.